Howdy, folks. Dustin here with Maps and Monsters. You can call me Raps. Today's creature feature is the Alchemical Golem. I will be discussing what an Alchemical Golem is and how they can improve your gaming experience. But first, let's talk about the general definition of a golem, particularly when we're talking about Pathfinder. Similar to most fantasy settings and even in some sci fi settings, a golem is a powerful construct created to perform simple tasks, usually to protect their creator. They are like machines in that they can function or live as long as the gears or whatever's making them tick are still functioning correctly inside them. Because of this, they can be found performing tasks long after their creators have passed or have perished. Now, I do use the word live, though some might argue against that, saying, well, golems are constructs, they're not living creatures, blah! That is true. However, it's important to note that there are generally two methods for creating a construct that kind of muddy the waters for what's considered living and what isn't. The first method of creating a golem, and generally the most accepted in any given society, is the focusing of pure energy on a construct until it's able to move and function on its own. But this can be very time consuming and it's very expensive. The less popular way to create a golem is to trap a soul inside a construct. And you can see why this might be less acceptable and considered evil in certain societies. Golems created using the latter method retain some of their memories or thoughts from their previous life, although I would argue that a golem created using pure energy might take on some of the emotions or characteristics of its creator. And I do mention that some people frown on trapping a soul inside a construct, but there might be circumstances where it was the only thing to do. First thing that comes to mind is Alphonse, Full Metal Alchemist. Now let's focus on today's featured creature, the Alchemical Golem. Currently, when you include Pathfinder 2nd Edition Bestiary Volume 2, there are 13 different types of golem that are available for use. As you can see from this chart, when ranked by creature level, highest to lowest, the Alchemical Golem, a level 9 creature, mind you, is number 8 out of 13. It's not the strongest, but level 9 is not something to ignore. I mean, when you look at the Adamantine Golem being level 18, you can see how strong golems are. Alright, time to look at this picture. I don't know why, but I can't get the idea of Crane the Brain out of my head every time I look at this picture. Personally, I prefer the first edition's picture, as the golem seems to be more structurally sound. It's being built out of what appears to be metal. But the 2nd edition golem, I don't know. It looks like it was built out of wood. Strange choice, but I mean, to each wizard their own. Also, the 1st edition golem is missing a freaking foot, but that ain't gonna stop him. What I do like about the 2nd edition picture is you can see all 6 chemicals in the syringes that are attached to the fingers of the golem. This matches the description of the Alchemical Golem's abilities, which we're going to get into here in a bit. One thing to remember that, like other golems, the Alchemical Golem is a large creature. So go big or go home is what the wizards at the academy always say. And when you put the size into perspective there, suddenly those syringes become much more menacing, don't they? Alright, let's go into the basic abilities. Like most golems, the Alchemical Golem benefits from something that's called Golem Anti-Magic, which effectively makes it immune to most types of magic. There are some vulnerabilities, but for the most part, golems are awesome against magic users. So keep that in mind if you're a DM trying to build for perhaps a magic-heavy group. The Alchemical Golem carries chambers that hold up to 6 different substances that can cause different effects, like acid or cold damage or etc. These substances can be injected through syringes in normal attacks, or they can be lobbed as alchemical bombs, which that sounds like a lot of fun. One feature that I see here that's super handy is Alchemical Rupture, which basically says that one substance in the chambers can erupt when the golem takes on damage. On physical damage. I love this feature as a GM because what I can't stand is when I have this great creature that's out on the battlefield, this large menacing creature that should be hitting the PCs, but they just keep missing one attack after another. This feature ensures that I'm going to hit the players, or that there is going to be some damage that happens, even if the creature can't land an attack. So I gotta hand it to Piezo on this. That's some pretty good creature designing. My favorite bit of information, were I to use this golem in my campaigns, is the treasure or reward that's offered by defeating this creature and salvaging its parts. The heroes can extract what alchemical chambers remain on the golem and create lesser alchemical bombs. That's very resourceful, it's very flavorful. Alright, it's time for me to give the alchemical golem a score. I give it a solid 6.5 out of 10 on the RAPS rating scale. My original score was 5, but like most other creatures, the longer I look at it, the more I start thinking of ways that I can implement this into my campaigns or how I would use it. So I don't want to look at it too long because I'll just end up loving it more and more. One thing I wanted to mention is while I was researching information on the alchemical golem, is my 5-year-old came into the room and she looked at the screen and says, "What's that?" So I asked her, "Well, what do you think it is?" And she looked at the screen for a minute and said, "A robot alien." Robot alien, mind you, not alien robot. Two very different things. I'll be honest, I don't care much for this picture, and I always find the lore more enjoyable. But after my kids said robot alien, I thought, wow, this creature could be used in both a fantasy and a sci-fi setting. High marks on usability. In conclusion, I like golems. They are flexible creatures and they can be used in a variety of scenarios that work. Not to mention there are several different types of golems, so it's pretty easy to tailor which golem you use to whatever situation you have. The possibilities are endless. If you like this style of monster and you want to see more, I strongly recommend that you check out the bestiaries from Pathfinder 2nd Edition. This particular monster came from the second volume. If you're looking for an Alchemical Golem mini to use in your tabletop RPG, well, hold on to your butts because Maps and Monsters offers 3D models for download, and the Alchemical Golem was just made available. You can print, you can paint the monster yourself, you can throw it to children if you're riding on the float in a parade. To find the models, just click on the Patreon link below for some more details. If you like this type of video where we're highlighting different creatures from the bestiaries, punch that like button and give us some comments below so we can see what we can do better, or if there's something you'd like to see, let us know. That's all. Bye.